I'm really happy and blessed that they're here. Can you please put your hands together for Denis Mockler?
Hi, Denis.
Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for having me here. It's great. Yeah, it's good. And the light is good, thank you. That's great. My name is Denis Mockler, and I just self-published this book. It's called Is It Safe to Come Out Yet? I'll be having the launch in Charlie Byrne's bookshop on the 28th of August at 6 p.m. It's 2 weeks away. So I'm just going to read a few poems from the book. So I grew up in I was born in 72, so I grew up in the 80s and into the 90s, and I'm still growing up, really. Anyway. The only gay in the village. I was the only gay in the village. I didn't really know what a gay was. I knew I couldn't tell anyone. I tried to pray it away. I tried and tried and tried. It seemed like the worst thing in the world. The only gays I knew of were Boy George and a TV presenter who had died of AIDS. Agony aunts told prospective homosexuals that they were probably just going through a phase. I liked girls, but not in that way. My schoolboy friends were hot to me. No one got bullied for being gay as far as I can recall. It just wasn't a thing. It was a lonely existence, and being gay occupied my mind most of the time. I tried to fancy girls. I tried and tried and tried. I had girlfriends, but it just didn't seem right. I wanted to kiss boys. I dared not scream it from the rooftops. The church was against it. It was against a lot of things. But the gay thing seemed really serious. Hellfire and damnation were just around the corner. And I hadn't hardly done more than imagine. But I did imagine, on a regular basis. You could go to hell for imagining in those days. Of course, it turned out I wasn't the only gay in the village. There were many. We were all too good at keeping the secret. I grew up to be strong, courageous, happy, and deviant, with some very difficult twists and turns along the way. Thank God for unanswered prayer. Thanks. Thanks very much. When I was 21, I left Galway and I went to Killarney working in the hotel industry, and I was working in a bar, and I met this couple of guys who owned a pub in Manchester, and they invited me to come over to Manchester for the winter and work there, and I was delighted because I was living right beside the gay village, so it was a real education. So. It's called Manchester and the Gay Village, 1995. People said hate was especially gifted. I was curious. He wouldn't go with anyone unless they paid cash. I was a good Catholic boy. Tony used to come into the bar where I worked and swallow pints of bitter. He was curious too. I went to Mass on Paddy's Day. I met a kind Irish lady there. I felt like an exile then. Everyone that I met said that they loved me because I was Irish. They used to say, "I love your accent." Many of them had Irish parents. I was almost alone in an English city. I loved the freedom. I was 22. I had lots of fun. A man that I got to know dressed as an old-fashioned lady and drank in Paddy's Goose on a Saturday night. his wife used to come in with him. Paddy's Goose was my local and a very popular gay bar. Diamond Lil was my favourite drag queen. She was witty and funny. We had some good laughs. She liked redheads. Usually I had a bounty bar and a hangover for breakfast. As I rushed up Oxford Road to Jabez Clegg Student Pub to tend the small side bar. I strolled the streets of Manchester at weekends, tuning into the albums Man in Black and Jainta on my personal cassette player. Sometimes I felt desperately lonely and sad. I read Johnny Cash's autobiography, his first one. It affected me profoundly. His recovery from addiction inspired me. Faith in Jesus leaped off the pages. The band Oasis came into our bar one day and I served them. At that point they were unknown to me, but very big in Manchester. Within weeks their music stormed Britain and beyond and blew my mind. I bought their album Definitely Maybe and played it constantly. I never satisfied my curiosity with H. I had some exciting adventures with Tony. I returned to Ireland and dreamed of the gay village repeatedly for many years after. I couldn't have stayed there. It wasn't for me long term. Killarney had captured my imagination in 1994. It was there I would seek my treasure. Thank you. I'm going to read one that's called Running Out of Road. Down by the river late at night, crickets whisper, insects bite. I wait in the shadows, trembling inside. Fear and excitement take me for a ride. Figures in the moonlight underneath the bridge. This is what I came here for. This is where it is. Soon enough it's over. The rush was worth the wait. The feel of a manly body, the comfort, the embrace. Many nights I'm down there, I don't reflect too much. The acceptance, the desire, the attention, the touch. I drink a lot and often. I'm running out of road. The secret life and the shame have become a heavy load. Thanks. I have books for sale tonight. They're on the table at the merch table, so they're taken over if anybody would like to support me. I really appreciate it. So thanks. This one's called Looking Great in a Dress. You were a class act. You looked great in a dress. You were playing the field. I didn't realize that at first. You were a real live wire. You couldn't get enough of me. You couldn't understand why I was so nice to you. You said that a lot. I broke us up. Your heart wasn't in it. You were only there when you were there. You disappeared from the scene. I often think of you. The last time that I saw you, you were drunk or high or both maybe. You were all over the dance floor. I was concerned about you after that. I saw the madness in you. I suppose I saw myself, a younger me. I hope you are okay. I think you are. I can still see you in that dress. Thanks. Thanks very much for listening. I'm just going to do one more poem. I really enjoyed being here, and I'm really grateful to Salem and Stephen for having me, and for the Roisin Dubh for having us. So thanks. This last one is called Loafer's Bar. I don't know, does anyone here know Loafer's Bar? Yeah. Loafer's Bar was the LGBT bar that I used to go to in Cork when I lived in Killarney. Myself and my friend John, we used to, we might get a bus to Cork, but we'd usually have to hitch back because we wouldn't have enough money to get to the bus. We used to have good times, and we're still the best friends today, so it's great. Loafer's Bar. I remember large groups of women on busy nights, lots of smoke, huddles of camp and not so camp young men, and quite a few solitary older men. I remember the beer garden out past the toilets. I remember the whole place heaving to pop music. I remember lots of drinking, feeling scared and excited. I remember the tactics employed to pull. I remember pulling. I remember being too drunk to pull. I remember the bar emptying and feeling alone and unloved and wanted and desperate. I remember meeting nice people and going there with good friends, having wild nights with lots of fun, hooking up with kind men and finding out a bit more about who I was. I remember the feeling of community and the shared relief of feeling safe to express and the sense of belonging. I remember the bitchiness and the sharp wit and the drama. I remember feeling at home and feeling far away from home. I remember loafers now and the people of those times with love and gratitude. And I thank God that I found it when I did. Thanks very much. Cheers.